Late count of ballots shows California voters have approved Prop 66. That means big changes to the death penalty process.
Last November, California voted on two competing death penalty propositions. Proposition 62 would repeal the death penalty and replace it with a life sentence without parole. Proposition 66 would expedite the death penalty by limiting the time for appeals. Prop 62 was supported by the state Democratic Party and defeated. Prop 66 was supported by the state Republican Party and approved. Prop 66 is currently being challenged before the California Supreme Court. These are the 749 condemned California inmates who must now wait for the court's decision.
Why did California voters vote the way they did last fall?
The late entry of Prop 66 had the effect that its proponents wanted. It confused the voters. So I was on the campaign trail nearly every day of the week. There were people saying, after the absentees went out, they were saying, "Well, I voted for both of them because I was really confused." And she said, "And they're abolitionists, but they didn't understand." You know, so we didn't get the message out properly. I mean, fundamentally, we can blame this anywhere you want to go, but the fact is that our campaign didn't do a good enough job.
I think in general, Americans and Californians are not that knowledgeable about the criminal justice system. Just for example, Donald Trump has recently been saying the murder rate in the United States is the highest it's been in 45 years, and he keeps repeating this. And many Americans believe that now. And when people are fearful, they're more likely to support more draconian measures. And in fact, you can look at how support for the death penalty tracks the murder rate, and when it falls, support for the death penalty falls. But in this election cycle, there was a lot of rhetoric about crime being out of control, and people didn't realize the fact was that crime is actually at the lowest level in decades, yet that misleading of the public, I think, played a role in both the presidential election as well as in things like Proposition 66.
I voted in favor of repealing the death penalty. It was like yay or nay to the death penalty, and I said no. Yeah.
Do you know how you voted for Proposition 66, which was the one to change the process? Yeah.
I don't remember how I voted for it. I have the feeling that I might have voted to expedite it. People are on death row for like 30 years, for a very long period of time, and it is a huge drain of funds. So I think that if you're going to have it, it shouldn't be so ridiculously long.
Whenever you have two competing initiatives like this one, you have one which abolishes it and one which expedites it, there's always a danger of voter confusion. You know, on the other hand, you didn't have a lot of the strong Democratic political leaders in this state actively supporting it. Jerry Brown, while he didn't support 66 and he didn't oppose 62, was pretty silent on them both. And so had he taken and thrown his weight and his political clout behind 62, I have no doubt that the outcome would have been different.
Since 1978, when the Briggs family brought the death penalty back to California, 13 inmates have been executed. With Prop 62 defeated, the death penalty will remain in California indefinitely. But while Prop 66 is before the state Supreme Court, those 749 inmates must wait to find out if the wait for their execution day has gotten that much shorter.